What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Detroit Tigers franchise video. In this one, we've got the last episode of the series. Yes, the last one. So episode 60 will be the last Tigers video in this playlist. So here's the deal, guys. It's bittersweet for me to end it. But with MLB The Show coming out tonight at midnight, if you pre-ordered it for early access, it's time to start a new. It's time to start a new series. Time to start a new team and see what we can do with them. So this is definitely bittersweet because I'm just reminding and reminiscing on when I first got started on YouTube. This was one of the very first things that I did back in February. Ended up getting this game back in March, April, early April maybe. I think it was probably late March, just like it is this year. And I could kind of see the writing on the wall. For you guys that know baseball, that follow the Tigers, that just kind of have even a roundabout understanding of the Detroit Tigers franchise right now, kind of could see the writing on the wall. Bad contracts, older players. So I figured they'd be a perfect team. They'd be primed for a rebuild, right? And you guys that have stuck around for about a year now know exactly what we did. Ended up shipping out all those bad contracts. And actually, it was pretty funny because all the guys that I got rid of were the guys that were traded in real life anyway, right? Except for Castellanos and Jordan Zimmerman, those guys stayed around. But, you know, for the most part, I think I did a pretty good job, especially with you guys, too, suggesting Eduardo Nunez and there are other players that you suggested that I shoot for and really pushed us over the top to get this World Series in the bag for Detroit. So I'm glad that even though it's fake, that it worked out, right? Because a lot of these games in the season, I end up simulating, right? I don't play every 162 games, right? I do end up simulating some games that I just really don't find that interesting, like this series here against Kansas City. Not too interesting because KC's not too good. Tampa Bay, not too interested. Boston, that would be a game that I would play, but I did not. Look at Yimi Garcia actually got the loss. Actually, no, he got the win. He got the win. Bruce Rondon got the loss. Oh, man. Look at that ERA, 6.19. Not very good. But, yeah, guys, so I think I did a good job with this. I'm glad to say, even though it's fake, that it worked, like I said. Because, like I was saying, you know, a lot of these games were simulated even in 2017 and the 2018 season. So the fact that the CPU liked the roster that we put together says something. It says a lot, actually. It says that we know what the heck we're doing. Right? We know what we're talking about. We know players. We know stats. We know what their makeup is, right? So the CPU actually liked the Tigers in 2018, and you know they're liking them this year too. 26 and 21 right now, tied for first place with the Twins. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and simulate the entire rest of the season, guys. So you'll be around for that. And then I know that I said I wanted to go into like 2020, maybe 2021, get like 5 seasons of this thing. But I don't think that's going to happen. It would be a really long video if it were. But I think what we'll do is we'll finish this season out, see how we did. And if there's any playoff games, I'll show some quick highlights of those games. Because if we make the playoffs, I'm sure you guys are going to want to see some gameplay, some action of us actually winning another World Series, right? So let's get this thing underway. Thank you guys for sticking around with this series. I really, really do appreciate it. It was a longer series. I don't think a lot of other people are even playing MLB The Show right now with franchise mode because, you know, MLB season's over. So let's go ahead and get this thing over with. 2019 season is in the books. Now, I will show you guys some trades, too. Okay, so the Mariners offered us a trade. Mitch Haniger for Marco Guzman. I like Mitch Haniger. I like Marco Guzman. I don't think we're going to do that. Plus, why would we want to make trades? Because, well, right now, the season's over. So we'll simulate the draft. So we're not going to see those prospects in the first place. But look at that, man. We just keep piling up the dubs. 35 and 28 right now. Not too bad. A lot of injury notifications. 37 and 30. We're not doing too bad, guys. 38 and 39. Alfonso Jimenez for Luis Valbuena. No thanks. Valbuena's pretty solid. 40 and 34 right now, just real quick, just see where we're at. So we're half a game behind the Indians. Michael Fulmer is still doing well here. Let's see. Nunez, what's he batting now? 240. Doubles, JD, 22. Triples. Moncada with 7 home runs. Valbuena with 19 bombs, 19 dingers right now, 275. He's having a heck of a year, man. 912 OPS. That's really good. That's really good. So, good job there for Mr. Valbuena. Nunez, 19 stolen bases. Jake Peters leading. Wow, I didn't know he was that fast. Wins, Michael Fulmer, 10. Look at that ERA. Look at that whip. 0.9. He's 10-1, guys. Michael Fulmer taking a huge step. He's only, yeah, I mean, 1 loss. That's insane. What about strikeouts? Strikeouts. Danny said, no surprise. Danny Salazar. Tyler Chatwood actually with 94. And De Leon with 94. So Chatwood is actually a starter for us right now. So I wonder who went down. Nobody. I think this might have been because somebody was hurt and we moved Chatwood over to the starting role for somebody, but maybe somebody's not getting a lot of innings pitched and we're bringing in Chatwood and he ends up getting the wins, but who knows? Let's just keep going and simulate the season. So you guys saw that Rutledge and Valbuena are out for like 2 to 3 months, so that's actually going to really hurt this team. Actually, no, not Valbuena. It was Michael Taylor, Bonifacio, and no, man, everybody wants Valbuena. Let's see who's in the home run derby, just real quick. Okay, so no Tigers. Trevor Story, Mike Trout, Dozier, Cespedes, Dickerson, Daniel Murphy with the Rockies, and Greg Bird, Freddie Freeman. Not a bad lineup. Michael Franco is traded from the Phillies to the Orioles. That's actually pretty interesting. Will Myers goes to the Indians from the Padres. It's pretty cool. And since we're 56 and 44, guys, we are actually in first place, 3 games ahead of the Indians. I think we're going to try to make a trade here just because I don't want to lose this, right? I don't want to lose this season. Look at Alex Linder, by the way, 278 with Rutledge on the mend. And then let's see if we got how Manuel Margot's doing. He's doing 251, so he's an 81 overall now. This lineup is 80s across the board, guys. This is one of the best lineups in baseball. And it's all because we have enough foresight, right, to know exactly what's going on with our roster here. So actually, let's go and see how many games Rutledge is out for. How long is he out? Michael Taylor is 37 more days and Rutledge 32 more days. So another month. That hurts. That hurts. But I think the weak link here for the team is probably speed. I know that we have Margot, but, you know, McCann can't run. Valbuena can't run. Linder can't really run at all that either. Bregman, 68. Nunez and Margot are pretty much our only speed options. So I would like to get another guy in here with some speed just because, well, we had Eric Young, you know, last year. Eric Young really was good for us. But let's see what we got. Speed, 65. Lorenzo Cain. I would make a trade for Lorenzo Cain, but there's nowhere to put him. You know? There's just nowhere to put that guy. Verlander's on the mend. Should we go after should we get Verlander, guys? Should we get Verlander? Just for old time's sake, should we get Verlander? I think we're going to... Or Billy Hamilton. Billy Hamilton, he is hitting 200. I think if we got Billy Hamilton on this roster, he would not be playing. That's just my honest opinion. He would not even be starting anywhere. He would be strictly being used for a stolen base threat. I think, or Jose Peraza. Peraza, he's got 77 speed. Not terrible. We could go cheap. You know, we've got Alex Linder playing second base. We can flip-flop him with Jose Peraza a little bit. I think we'll get Peraza. I don't want to mess around with the outfield. So let's suggest trade here for Peraza. They want Sanchez. No, heck no, we're not giving you Pablo Sanchez. What are you, crazy? What do they need? Left field? Left field. Let's go left field. Let's go left field. Or just outfield in general. Raymond Armas. 95 speed for Raymond Armas. The only thing about Raymond Armas is that he's an outfielder and he can't play infield. Gustavo Gonzalez. Rico. Don't want to get rid of Rico. All right, let's do this. Let's go Raymond Armas. All right, cool. We got Jose Peraza, guys. So he'll help. He will help us out quite a bit. So I think that was a pretty solid trade. Now, for the big one, let's go after JV and get this thing done. They want Valbuena for JV. I don't think that's going to happen, boys. Let's go prospects. No trades are found. All right, so they want to play a little hard to get. Let's go with Jonathan Neese, Ryan Marshall, and Vernon Geary, maybe? Or look at this. Let's go Alfonso Gonzalez. And Orlando Harris. Look at that. Just 2 pitchers and a reliever for JV. Let's do it, boys. Ah, come on. Come on. You know you want that. Robbie Esposito might say goodbye. Leland Boyce. I know you guys loved Leland Boyce, but no, they don't want that either. This is going to be tough. Man, they don't want any of it. They just don't want it, guys. They just do not want it. I don't think we're getting JV, boys. Kind of sucks, but I don't think it's going to happen. They don't even want that. Yeah, it was a good idea, guys, but I just don't think they're going to do it. So we're just going to leave it alone. I think we could have gotten Jonathan VR. 93 speed. Scooter Gennett. 59 speed. But I like Jose Peraza. But I think Jonathan VR would have helped us kind of do it all a little bit. Oh well. Oh well, I guess I should have seen my options first. But we needed a pure second baseman. Like, you know, we definitely needed that. Just for the speed purpose, right? He's going to play a whole lot. Probably not. I mean, he is hitting 298, so that's a lot better than what VR was going to do. So we'll just keep going. We'll keep going, guys. So hold on. It's going to be a wild ride. All right, guys, so 72 and 65. I decided to stop it here, but take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8-game losing streak, followed by a 4-game winning streak. So there's some inconsistency going on right here. I don't know what was going on right there. Some close games and then some blowouts. But we are now 2 games back from the AL Central. and we are 3 games back from the AL wild card. So that's a pretty dicey situation here. We do get Boston, and then we go at Cleveland. So we've got some games here that we can make up a lot of ground, especially when we look at, let's see, Boston. I mean, these are some big games. So can the Tigers pull through, guys? We definitely need them to pull through right here and right now. And they lost every single game. Lost every single game. Wow. I think that pretty much sealed the deal, guys. If we can make some noise here later on, and it doesn't look like we are. 78 and 78, boys. 9 games back. 7.5 back from the wild card. Didn't cut it. Didn't cut it, boys. 82 and 80. It just wasn't good enough for the postseason. So the regular season has come to an end. And I'm going to show you guys the playoff mix here. And then, all right, there we go. So there's the playoff mix. I'm sorry I didn't get that earlier. But we had the Yankees and the Rays taking on each other in the wild card, Boston and Cleveland. Boston advances. LA swept Tampa Bay. Probably no surprise there. So Boston and LA. And remember, LA was actually really good. We actually played them in the ALCS last season. So the fact that they're back, again, they're really making a push here with Mike Trout. Miami beat the Cubs in the NLDS. That's who we played in the World Series last year, was the Cubs. Mets in San Francisco. I think they played each other in a one-game playoff last season, too, if I'm mistaken. Please let me know. San Francisco against the Dodgers. San Francisco advances. So I think it's going to be San Francisco and LA. That's what my pick is. I don't know who you guys got, but that's who I'm going with. Let's see. San Fran 2-2. Boston, LA 2-1. Let's see what we got, guys. Boston, San Francisco. So LA still cannot push through, guys. I've actually always wanted to see this World Series, Boston and San Fran. I thought it really would have been kind of cool. The Red Sox win the World Series against the San Francisco Giants, guys, for the 2019 World Series. Let's take one more look. Oh, we can't look. But 16 and 7, 225 strikeouts for Michael Fulmer, 2.9, 104. That's pretty dang good. Yasiel Puig, 300 hitter, 26 home runs. It's actually his best statistical season that he's ever had as a pro. 170 hits. He beat out 2014 numbers by 5 more hits, 10 more home runs. RBIs were a new high for him. 300 batting average, not so much. What was his OPS? 869. So he had a really, really good season for us. So Puig is on the up and up. 28 years old now. He's in his prime. Bregman, 243, still not hitting. Still not hitting for Detroit. Matt Moore, see how he did. 9 and 13. Did not have a winning record. Something that he doesn't do a lot of is winning. So that might be a bad contract. We might have to move him, not in this series, but just in your minds, right? JD Martinez actually had a really, really good season. 31 home runs, 83 ribbies, 281. Not bad. Manuel Margot, 224. Did not cut it for us. 41 stolen bases. That was a league. Oh, not a league, but that's his career high. 41 stolen bases for Eduardo Nunez. He's on the downslope. 31 years old. Joe Ross, let's see what he did. 4-4. 7 and 14 for Mr. Joe Ross. Not the good. 5.30 ERA for Jose De Leon. So there are some ups and downs with this season for sure. Linder didn't play too bad. Peraza actually had his batting average go down since he got here. Grichuk, 251, 16 home runs. So huge drop off in production based on last season's numbers. Bruce Rondon had a 4.67 with only 16 saves, guys. So that was a key cog in that World Series title last season, was the 50 saves, guys. Only had 2 more innings than he did last year. pretty much the same amount of walks there, almost the same amount of strikeouts. So it wasn't like he wasn't getting in games. It was just that they weren't save situations. So, you know, Bruce Rondon had, I would say, a pretty solid season. Not the best, but I don't think the Tigers were I don't think we were as good as we were last year. I mean, even when you're looking at the record, yeah, 82 and 80, right? It wasn't as good. Definitely not as good. Danny Norris had a winning season. Second year in a row there. 159, 10 strikeouts less than in 2018, 3.56. Pretty solid pitcher right here, Danny Norris. So I hope he does well in real life in 2018, but because he did really good for us. 10 home runs, only 29 RBIs for Profar. Just did not. This is not what he does, right? He doesn't drive people in. He bats near the bottom of the order and the top of the order, if anything. So only had 212 at bats, 73 games. Barely even played half a season. So that's just kind of his role, and I'm okay with that. Let's just take a look at one more guy here. Valbuena had 24 bombs, 79 RBIs, 261. So pretty okay season by Valbuena. James McCann, 203 for 9 home runs. Not good there. What did Felipe Gutierrez do? Did he ever get some time? I want to show Felipe Gutierrez. 333. So he was in 3 games. Got 1 hit. How about Mr. Josh Rutledge? 240 with 5. So his batting average really dipped off from last season. Michael Taylor actually got sent down to AAA. He's 76 now, guys. So Margot pretty much cemented himself as the starting center fielder for Detroit. 229 batting average, definitely not going to cut it, sir. And there was one more guy that I wanted to show. It's Pablo Sanchez. 13 games, 163. So he just wasn't cut out for it quite yet. His numbers are there. He's very raw. 18 years old. Definitely will be the first baseman of the future. But, just didn't have it. Didn't have it this season. All right, guys, that is it for the Detroit Tigers franchise series. I hope you guys enjoyed this thing as much as I did bringing it to you. It was really, really fun. I'm just going to leave that on the line. Really, really fun for me to do this, especially it being my favorite team and my hometown team. It was a really good situation. It was well-timed. When I first got MLB The Show 17, I kept thinking I wanted to bring it to my YouTube channel because I had just started out. And, I kind of looked at the Tigers roster and thought that this would be a perfect situation and perfect time to have a rebuild. And a lot of people gave me a little bit of backlash about that because they thought the Tigers had a really good team and they were just a bunch of names. There's a bunch of names in 2017. They just did not put it together, and I think for you guys that stayed and thought that this was an interesting thing, I guess what we could say is we could pat ourselves on the back and say we saw it, we predicted it, right? That the Tigers were actually gonna sell at the deadline, and they did. So, with that being said, guys, for you guys that stuck around and watched this thing and left comments and left likes and supported me throughout this year of Detroit Tigers franchise videos, I appreciate every single one of you guys that did so. It's hard making YouTube videos consistently, but they're fun. They're fun to do, but it's very, very difficult to do consistently. And then when you're not seeing results early on in your YouTube quote-unquote career, it's a little discouraging. But for you guys that stuck around and are still here watching these things, leaving these videos likes, leaving some comments here and there on this, it speaks volumes to me. It lets me know that this was good stuff. You liked watching it. So on to the next team, right? On to the next franchise. And we'll have a video made out here in a couple minutes, actually. So hope you guys enjoyed this thing. Can't wait to bring you the next franchise. Who's going to be? Who's it going to be? Leave your comments in the section below. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Go Tigers. As always, peace.